Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Eric's Philosophy Talk videos. I'm Eric, and you'll notice that today I have something special. A backdrop. Why, there's nothing to focus on but me now. For example, if I gesture with this arm over here, you'll see it quite clearly and say to yourself, that's quite a compelling gesture Eric just used. If I then gesture with this arm as well, I can make a little box. My head fits in right there. Yeah. See? See how that works? Now, I've done something in addition to improve your viewing experience here. My normal red and yellow chair, I'm still sitting in it, but I've covered it with this handy-dandy dog bed. Why? Well, I think it contrasts nicely against the green background. So anyway, this is a tarp hung on the garage door, on the inside of the garage door here, and it's got two holes that fit right over a bolt on either end of the garage door. So it was low effort, easy, obvious. Why the hell not? Well, let's talk about some common misconceptions about deontology. One. Well, the first misconception about it is that it's black and white. You can never lie, you can never blah, blah, blah. It's actually less black and white than that. It's because, remember, the categorical imperative is don't use others as a means to an end. Now, if you are called upon to lie, the extent to which that's using another person as a means to an end is going to be contextually specific. It's a nice general rule. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that we don't factor in context. For example, if I make a business deal with somebody, I'm using them as a means to an end, but it's mutually beneficial. So, and it's mutually consented to. This is important, right? The issue of consent and of natural rights is important. So, one cannot begin to do a deontological calculus without factoring in the issue of consent. If an individual consents to a given thing, it's going to have a different deontological calculus than if they don't, right? So let's go back to the famous example of the utilitarians. Well, if we go with deontology, then, if a murderer is chasing after a crowd of women and children, and he's chasing them with a chainsaw, right? They duck around a corner, and they go left, and he's running a little behind them. He's catching up, but he's still a fair distance behind them. And he comes and says, hey, where do they go? Which way do they go? Well, the utilitarian says, well, they went that way, and points in the wrong direction. Because he wants to mislead the murderer. The deontologist supposedly is compelled to, well, probably to first give no answer at all. And, Lacey, stop. And then, when the murderer says, well, if you don't tell me, I'm going to kill you, then the deontologist has no choice but to tell the truth, right? Well, no. First of all, telling the truth is not necessarily going to cause the murderer to go the direction you tell him. Remember that. The murderer may assume you're lying and go the opposite direction. It's the problem with utilitarianism, right? You can't predict the future. It just isn't possible. Who's here?
Hello, Mr. Eric.
Hello. Looks like I got some coochies in the house. In his house.
Yes,
Hey, how you guys doing?
good. I was going to take him home. Are you going to go to the...
Let's see, stop. That would be very helpful. I got a 5 o'clock.
You got 5, so I'll take him and...
Alright, cool.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Lacey, stop it! Lacey!
You don't like Alright, see ya. Okay.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much today. I had to get emergency coverage for my class today because I thought we didn't have class today. I thought Thanksgiving week started today, but it didn't. It starts on Monday and goes through Sunday. So anyhow, not a big deal. I anticipate spending money on judging today anyway. I was able to judge half day for Justin, and I was able to judge policy, which was really nice. I got to judge Victor and Fred, which was nice, and they're really good. Arcadia's got a badass policy team, Victor and Fred. Now I'm cold. I'm gonna prep out a policy team. I know exactly what to do too, and then I'm gonna have them basically run that San Marino AF case as one of their cases, one of their ACs, and then I would run radical transparency on the neg cattle plan. And it's totally exclusive, right? Because you're increasing transparency, so there's no way to permit. And I mean, you're increasing surveillance. You're not just not decreasing surveillance; you're increasing it. You're not playing defense. This is the problem with this, with policy in general, of course, is you're supposed to just be able to play defense. But the way it manifests now, it's not how it works. You know, there's always a counter plan, some sort of neg critique, something like that gives them offense. They want offense, you know? And I guess the reasoning is, well, it's twofold. One, the default seems to have switched. So it's no longer the plan has to achieve solvency and be funded effectively and have inherency and be topical and whatever else stock issues are. So looks a lot more like PF, frankly. I mean, it does. It makes it more like PF. When I was judging that policy round today, I was like, I can coach this, no problem. Why have I even ever been remotely frightened of this? Or thought it was intimidating? It's not intimidating at all. It seems like the easiest format to coach, frankly. It's kind of like how I'm coaching PF. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know if this one's going to make it up or not. Probably it will, but with the new backdrop and everything. So yeah, policy debate. Look, here's the deal, guys. All the most powerful people in terms of potential power, maybe not actually wielding it, are former debaters. Because nobody else gets smart like we do in school, you know? And the reason being, debate is vastly superior as an educational methodology than any other methodology available. It just is. I see it all the time. Debaters zoom past their classmates. Zoom. in exactly the sort of skill sets that the state supposedly is prioritizing: critical thinking, analysis, reasoning, yada yada yada. So if you really want to be full blast beast, what you want to be is an ESP 7 with 8, former policy debater. Now, if I had debated policy now, I'd be a lot better off, because back when I debated it, I didn't have a coach. I didn't know what I was doing. They didn't run very sophisticated arguments back then. It was all literally policy debate. Like, if you listen to a debate round in the 50s, it sounds just like the debate rounds I ran in the 80s, late 80s, around where I was debating anyway. I know they were running other stuff elsewhere in the country, but they weren't running it around here. And so, you know, we just did seat of the pants. And the only stuff I ever remember from those competitions at all, I remember a couple little slivers. One sliver of one round, really, that I lost. It was a big round that I lost. I remember losing. That's why I remember it, is because we lost it. I remember being frustrated by being out-argued. And being so much shocked. Why would that have ever happened, that I'd be shocked? Well, because, look, we didn't have, like I said, we had no coach. We didn't know what we were doing. And we just threw together a case. We got somebody to give us the timings. You know, I knew what the word rebuttal meant. So, what's C? What's constructive? Does it mean case? Yeah, okay. Aft case. Okay, cool. I know what a case is. It's like in court. That's how we put together our policy case. And we ran hostels. No, we ran, what are they called? Not hostels. What are those end of life things called where you go to die, basically? I don't know. I forget what they're called. We ran this thing where it's like, let's deal with medicine by shifting end of life care from the status quo to hospice. That's what they're called, hospice care. And I remember on NEG we always attacked funding. We had a couple angles of attack we always did. We attacked stock issues, you know. And I remember when Lacey, will you not, please? That round we lost that I remember, the one round I remember, they ran the only thing I remember from all of my debate career in high school. It was a big round at a big tournament, we lost it. That's why I remember it. But anyway, they ran. We would sell water to the Middle East to fund their shit. That's a squirrely ass funding plank right there, huh? We're gonna sell our excess water to the Middle East, and the crazy thing is, they had a couple cards on it. We didn't have shit on that, right? And but you know, it's like I don't remember anything else about the case. I have no idea what else they were doing. That's the only thing I remember about it. I remember being frustrated as hell that I couldn't get past that fucking funding plank. And we lost that round on a split decision. My coach at the time, they'd gotten somebody's little boy. Yeah! Barnaby, no! Yeah! I say, yeah! Was that a little chaotic for you? I had a guinea pig in here. I tried to keep them the hell out of here, but they just keep coming back in. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, be a policy debater and be super badass. I wish I was more badass than I am, but I'm going to get a policy team together right now. We're going to have a policy entry on the 12th. Yes, we are. I know exactly what we're going to run, too. All it took was for me to judge one policy round. Very good thing that I went and judged today.